Ah, the Bahamas, a paradise nation that has great food, friendly people, and stunning beaches. Every year, millions of people travel to this wonderful, magical country to get some rays and relaxation. And it's because of this, I'm here to tell you 5 astonishing things that you need to know when you go to the Bahamas. Hey guys, this is Ozzie from Wanderlust Awe Syndrome, where I provide unique views, advice, and stories for you, the passionate traveler. If you're planning to go to the Bahamas, I'm going to tell you 5 astonishing things that you need to know prior to going to the Bahamas. Before we get into that, please hit like and subscribe if you like this video and find this video to be very helpful for you. The first astonishing thing about visiting the Bahamas is that it's cheaper than Hawaii. Now, I've been to Hawaii, and if you got the opportunity to visit the Hawaiian Islands and the Bahamian Islands, I recommend that you do so. Both places are wonderful. They're magnificent places to check out, and you'll get a lot of relaxation when you go out to both places. Even so, if you're on the fence about going to Hawaii because you might have lack of resources, such as you might not have enough money or time, I suggest that you go to the Bahamas at least first if you decide that you want to go to both places eventually. And here are my reasons. The first reason is the Bahamas are closer to mainland US as well as closer to other places. It doesn't take that much time to go to the Bahamas depending where you are, particularly if you're in the US. If you're on the East Coast or maybe in the central area of the United States, it is so much closer to fly to the Bahamas rather than to Hawaii. Hawaii, for many Americans such as myself, it would take at least a day to get there, but with the Bahamas, it can take less than a day. So when you fly out there, you're going to be there sooner than later. Thus, you'll have more time and better planning to do whatever you want to do rather than, okay, I have to sacrifice a day of my vacation or two, depending on when you have, because you have to come back eventually to go to the Hawaiian Islands. So the Bahamas offers an opportunity to be able to get there and not have to really waste an entire day flying in the air, depending on where you are in the United States, or even if you're in a different country, such as in Europe, that might take a few hours, but it's better than trying to fly to Hawaii, which I guarantee if you're flying from Europe to Hawaii, you're going to take at least 2, maybe 3 days, depending on how many stops you take to get there. The Bahamas offers an opportunity for you guys to get there sooner than later. As I said before, the flight time is one of the big issues for many people deciding to fly to Hawaii. Also, you could take multiple ways to get to the Bahamas over Hawaii, such as a boat. Yes, I get it. I understand. You could take a boat from mainland United States to Hawaii, but you're going to be out in sea for at least a day, maybe 2, depending on the weather. And because of that, you are pretty much sacrificing time just to get to the Hawaiian Islands. Again, I'm not saying don't go to the Hawaiian Islands. I'm just saying, depending on what you are budgeting with your time and money, it's probably a better idea to go to the Bahamas at least first, because you'll save a lot of time. With the Bahamas, a lot of Americans use their boats to travel to the Bahamas because it's so close. So if you look at a map at Florida and the Bahamas, you'll notice that it is very close. It's not that far distance. So a lot of Americans, particularly those who live down in Miami or Orlando, take this opportunity to take their boats to ride over to the Bahamas. The second astonishing thing about traveling to the Bahamas is you can use the US dollar. If you're one of those people who travel, one of those passionate travelers who, like myself, who go out to different places through the world, you're going to have to convert whatever currency you have into that country's currency. It can be very difficult depending on where you're going, because sometimes they're very complicated and they change on a constant basis. It's not the same worth value between the currencies when you go out there. So you might think one day that the US dollar is worth this much, but then the next day it's worth this much now. So you can be paying more or less when you use that US dollar to pay for another currency to use. In the Bahamas, you do not have to worry about that, because the Bahamian dollar is on par with the US dollar the last time I recorded this video. And because of that, makes it very simple to bargain and to buy stuff when you're out there. You don't have to worry about using math and trying to use currency converters. The Bahamian dollar, as I said before, is on par with the US dollar. And that makes it very easy to do whatever you need to do when you're. Because the US dollar is on par with the Bahamian dollar, you can use the US dollar to be able to buy anything from food, clothing, souvenirs, whatever you could have in mind, you can buy with the US dollars. The Bahamians will take the US dollar and just be able to use it for whatever they want. You can use the Bahamian dollars. You can go to an ATM in the Bahamas and get Bahamian dollars and use that too. So you have so many options on what kind of currency you want to use when you're out there. If you're using the US dollar, you can either use the Bahamian dollar or the US dollar. You just pick which one they work. They will be on par and they will not change at this recording of the video. Because of that, you get more bargaining power. So you can be able to haggle and negotiate prices when you go out there to buy stuff such as souvenirs, which I recommend you do. Always try to haggle and negotiate prices if you're trying to get souvenirs or try to get stuff that you want, because one, they tend to like it, and two, you want to make sure that you get the best deal. But because you know that the US dollar is the same with the Bahamian dollar, you know that everything is going to be the same. So there's no need to worry about, okay, what's the value of this currency compared to US dollars? This is how much I need to give. You do not have to worry about that in the Bahamas. You know exactly what you're paying for when you're going out there. Third astonishing thing about visiting the Bahamas is you don't need a visa. The visa-free access in the Bahamas makes stuff simpler and easier to get into the country. So this is the process when you go to the Bahamas. When you go to the Bahamas, you fly in, you get your stuff, and you walk to customs. Customs are very friendly people. They will smile. They're obviously going to ask the basic questions. What are you here for? Most of you guys, as passive travelers, are going to say, we're here on vacation. And they're just going to smile, stamp your passport, and say, enjoy the Bahamas. And that was my experience when I went there. It was that simple, it was that quick. There was no long lines. And if there were, they were very efficient about getting people in and out the custom area and allowing them to enjoy the Bahamas when they got their bags and got their passport stamped to go venture out within their country, which makes it wonderful. So I like the idea that the visa-free access to the Bahamas makes things wonderful and simple. The fourth astonishing thing about visiting the Bahamas is that it's an English-speaking country. So I'm going to give you a little history on the Bahamas. The country was controlled by the British until July 10th, 1973. The country received its independence from the British Empire. Because of that, English was a big thing. How does that help you? Because, as I said, people speak English. Is the business globally, a lot of people are speaking more English, and in this case, it makes it easier for you because you don't have to worry about stuff being lost in translation. You don't have to have a translator. You don't have to bring a dictionary of another language, because if you know English, it is very easy for you to get out there. Also, because so many English speaking people come to the country every year, particularly from my home country, the United States, a lot of people speak a lot of English to be able to do business out there, which helps you as a traveler to be able to do whatever you want. So if you need to order something, you can easily use English and it will help you tremendously. And if you don't know English, a lot of the people are very friendly and they will be very accommodating in helping you get by. But knowing English will help you out there. And for a lot of travelers, they speak English well enough to be able to get by. The fifth astonishing reason why you should travel to the Bahamas is because it's very safe for solo women travelers. Now I'm going to focus this on solo women travelers because that's how I base, or one of the things I base on how I travel. Because if I believe that a country is very safe for women solo travelers, that allows me to prepare better, knowing that, you know, I don't have to be as precautious, don't have to look behind my back so often, because the country is safe. And this country is very safe for not only just women solo travelers, but men solo travelers, family, anyone who's interested to come to the Bahamas. It is extremely safe, especially in Nassau. When you come out to the Bahamas, you're going to notice that the streets are clean, there's little to no crime, everyone's very friendly. You can go out at 1 a.m., walk around the streets of Nassau, and not have to worry about anybody trying to harm you. People are very friendly. People will leave their jobs and say good evening or check on you, make sure you're doing okay. And that is the wonderful thing about the Bahamas. It is so friendly and the atmosphere is so relaxed that you don't have to worry as much. Now, I'm not saying that the Bahamas don't have certain areas that are questionable at best, but what country does not have that kind of part or area that they have to, you're kind of worrying about, okay, probably should not go out there. But the Bahamas, for the most part, is very safe. We all, as passionate travelers, want safety, and the Bahamas offers that. And that is why so many people from around the world eventually decides to live out in the Bahamas, because it's so safe out there. Okay, those are my 5 astonishing things on why you should travel to the Bahamas. If you like this video, please hit like, subscribe. Also, check out my other videos, which will be posted somewhere around here. And comment down below. I want to know, what do you think about going to the Bahamas? Are you planning to go to the Bahamas at some point in your life? What do you like about it from listening to this video? So comment down below. As I said, check out my other videos. They'll be posted around here. They're there to help you guys. So it will be grateful if you support this channel. And I'll be seeing you guys later. Peace.